clash of the Titans! Can anyone guess how long it'll take for me to knock this camera over? Just go ahead and put it in the comments. Big, bad side opening review. Some decisions have to be made when you have choices like this. So what are the bad boys we're doing? It's the Hogue EXA01 versus the original Microtech LUDT in apocalyptic finish. Okay, so two American brands, two automatic side opening knives. You know, it's almost like the Hogue is a modern day interpretation of this. And, you know, that's my opinion. You know, this came out way before the Hogue, as you can tell by its 90s design, very 90s era. Highly effective. And it's a Microtech. So you kind of have to love it. It's like a standard in life. You know, but Hogue has, you know, you see the milling and it kind of looks like a modern version of milling. You know, look at the back side. You can see the back spacing there. I mean, you know, there's some differences, but yeah, there's some similarities too. And I think in today's world, you kind of have the gentleman automatic, or you have more of the tactical automatic. And, you know, what makes this tactical versus the gentleman? Well, I'll tell you, the carry for one. This guy is super slim in comparison to the Hogue. It's a little lighter. There's not a big difference, but yeah, you can see in hand, it's a difference. It's a difference, and you can tell. The blade stock is dramatically different. Pow. Let me see, which direction do we need to go? So you got to look at where the jimping is to really get a view of the blade stock, and you know, you can tell that the I don't have a micrometer. I guess I could get one, but you can tell the blade stock is significantly thicker on the Hogue. And Microtech has a different type of edge. They have this very Microtech edge, which is this extremely small bevel, and the grind goes almost to the edge. You know, it's a different kind of sharp. It's sharp. It's a different kind of sharp. It feels very machine made in a precise way, in a high quality way. The Hogue, that's a different animal. That's a different kind of edge. That's a huge edge in comparison. When I sharpen knives, I have a tendency to take them like this. I'm not sure if there's an advantage or disadvantage. He's actually chipped it a little bit here when he's used it. I'll fix that before I send it back to him. But you know, the Microtech is a little bit more expensive. It definitely has more steel. This is 204p. This is, of course, Hogue's 154, and it is serrated. Now, that is a serious serration. Focus. Look at that. I mean, that's nasty. It's going to do what it needs to do. You could probably almost use those serrations. They are so sharp. They'd probably make a really clean cut, even though they're serrations. So, you know, you save a little bit of money sometimes by getting a serrated blade from a non-traditional seller. They don't have as much value. Understandably, I prefer a non-serrated blade. But when you can get this for under $100. A knife that retails for over $200. You kind of have to pick it up. So at the time of this video, if you watch this, who knows? You know, we can talk about the blade shape. So they both have a drop point, with Microtech going with really more of that leaf style shape, which is, you know, much more of a slicey, dicey kind of shape with that belly the way it is. Less of a hard use shape. This is much more of that EDC shape. I really like that that shape. It's much more aesthetically pleasing to me than sort of the traditional drop point with really the straight edge and then the abrupt belly. You know, they're both going to pierce pretty well. Obviously, this tip is not delicate. And this tip is more delicate, but it's not necessarily a delicate tip. I don't anticipate people using these with a lot of weird tip work, but if you'll look, it's a thicker stock, right? And I like the black with the kind of that gray lettering. I think that looks awesome. Really, really cool design. You know, one thing I don't like, just from a design standpoint, I don't like how the seat for the button lock is exposed. It's one of the, sorry, it's a little dirty. It's one of the things that I don't like about Bear & Son knives. You know, I'll never own one because it just has this unfinished look. And this does too, to a degree. But the epicness of the knife overall and the statement that it makes and the action, and these are both been lubed, right? So they move out. You know, you be the judge. Which one do you think is working better? So I'll do this one. Yeah, it's a softer opening from Microtech, without a doubt. The spring's just not as heavy. Not a bad thing. It's fast. But that pow, that explodes out. So feels a lot more tactical. Don't like the lock, as I've done on other Hogue reviews. The mechanism doesn't work without it, so you have to have it, unfortunately. You know, I just never put the lock on with mine, you know, with my Hogues. So it's not deep pocket carry, but it does have like this big, kind of reminds me of a thumb, this kind of big, wide, easy to go into the pocket. It's kicked up really tall. It's going to work super, super well, and it's going to go in smooth and come out smooth. You know, the tension on it is reasonable. You know, the tension on the Microtech is significant. Also, not deep pocket carries, probably before it was popular. So you can kind of compare the height of those. You know, a little bit more room right here. And this is tighter. I mean, the snap on that, it snaps when it comes out of your pocket. You know that you have pulled it out. So, you know, fit and finish. You know, I'm having a hard time noticing a difference. I don't know if this edge is factory or if I've already sharpened it. I don't remember sharpening it for Pastor Darren. But it looks very similar to an edge that I put on knives. With that mirror polish like leather, it feels like something I've already gotten a hold of. I don't remember. I sharpened so many knives for friends and myself that I can't remember if I've done this, but it's going to get some work from me. It actually has a little chip out of it, but the factory hand sharpens them. I mean, it's a dude doing it, or a lady, you know. But just the aesthetic of this is just mean. It's nasty. Just that flat silver with the black hardware. The contrast this knife has is beautiful. You know, this one, a bit thinner. It's a Microtech, so you can be a little snobby with it if that's your thing. And it has a far superior blade steel for just a little bit more money. So, which is best? I don't know. It's up to you. I like them both quite a lot. At the end of the day, the comparison like this is always going to boil down to the fact that this is not a Microtech. And I think that that's how it will always be with knives that are similar. So there you go. Take it for what it's worth. That is my opinion. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Guns and Gains signing out.